Alright, so I'm here with Almighty Paradigm. We're going to talk about how we took his pre-built PC and made him a custom-built PC. Um, so it's been at least a couple of months now, and your PC's been running good.
Yeah, it's been running good. I've had a couple of issues, but I think most of it, internet bandwidth usage and stuff. I don't think that I've even really scratched the surface of what I can do with it right now.
Well, that's good. Yeah, and I mean, and you're definitely in the mid-range tier of gamers and rigs. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the pictures now. All right, so you see the
Okay.
picture I'm on.
Yeah,
All right, so this was his pre-built computer. It flipped inside of itself, and then this flipped down. It was a really cool idea, but with pre-built computers, we couldn't fit a graphics card in here. At least the graphics card he wanted. Yeah, I think you said that a graphics card for you to get would actually be super expensive, and it would only be like a single fan or something.
yeah, because the guy that I took it to at Norwood said that it was essentially going to be a micro graphics card,
Ooh,
so that it could fit in the small case because it's a compact PC.
okay. Yeah.
And that's what you're seeing right there. Everything's smaller from what is normal. Like the power supply was smaller, the motherboard was smaller, the graphics card would have been smaller had there been one.
Yeah. And so once we got to
And
this part, we were still pretty optimal about getting everything out and putting it into his new case.
yeah,
So his new case is here in the background. So basically, the whole point of this is we weren't doing a whole new build. We were just taking this build and putting it into a larger case to support an actual, a bigger graphics card.
yeah. And for those of you who are wondering, the original PC was the stock Lenovo Idea Center 510A, which it was a good PC. Like it played League of Legends really well, but it for streaming, especially PC streaming, it was not going to handle it just because the CPU couldn't handle not having a graphics card.
And then let's see, there's a better picture of what he's got now.
Yeah, the Cooler Master case with like the 4-inch diameter fans
Yeah,
in the
dude, they're
front.
huge. I really, when I was building mine, I thought about getting this case just because those fans are so ridiculous. All right, and so here's the innards. We ripped everything out, got it cleaned out. There's another picture of the innards not being
What'd
there
you ever
anymore.
do with that? Because I left that there for you.
I think I trashed it. I didn't.
Uh,
I had no use for it.
yeah.
So its motherboard is super weird. We got this far into the build, and I'd given him two options. One option, I could still put it together with this motherboard, and as you can tell, it's like an L-shaped motherboard. It's very weird. But I told him that, one, it wouldn't be very stable because not all the screws fit down and snugged it tight. It was just weird looking. We had problems with the shield in the back. It was kind of a mess. So I told him like, yeah, I could put it together and Frankenstein it, or we can get you a new motherboard that will look nice and fit in there, and you can actually, just upgrade with.
Yeah. I think this one was when we were actually bending the motherboard to make it fit a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And then we tried more Frankensteining, which we took my old PC. It was a HP Pavilion desktop, and tried to use the motherboard from that, and that was a wonky motherboard too.
Yeah. So anybody who has a pre-built computer, just sell it. Buy new parts.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, just buy all new, start fresh. It's so much easier. Um, the pieces we did take from this motherboard were the processor and the RAM. Everything else is he had to end up buying new or yeah new.
It'd have probably just been cheaper to end up buying a whole new PC.
Yeah, well, you saved processors are anywhere from 2 to 300, depending on what you get. And I mean, you can look and check out sales and stuff, but you wouldn't have gotten your PC as quick as you did doing that. The other part that we had to change was the power supply. The power supply didn't support the a graphics card plug-in. So
And it didn't fit in the case.
oh god, yeah, that was wonky too because it was super small, and this is looking at like a full 650, watt power supply, and that thing was not supporting everything. I think if it would have been able to plug into your graphics card, you would have fried that.
Yeah.
And then let's see what we got next. So we ordered his parts. We called it a night. After trying, we called it a night. Ordered him new parts. His new parts came in. Like I said, we took the processor out of the old one, cleaned it off, dropped it into the new one. And then that's the processor that he has.
Yeah,
And,
the processor was still really nice. I was surprised that you told me how good the processor was, even though it can't be overclocked.
Yep.
I was definitely surprised to hear that it was like a $300 processor.
Yeah, it's still pretty. It's an i7. But yeah, since it doesn't have the K at the end, you can't overclock it, which was actually good in this situation. Here's Paradigm with some liquid, smiling, and
Yeah.
this is his giant new power block that is in his PC.
Yeah.
But so when you overclock a processor, you want to have at least a larger air cooling fan or have water cooling, because the stock fan that's in yours would not support overclocking, or if you did overclock it would overheat really quick.
Yeah.
And then this is the finished product. We got his 1060 that he had. We had to do all of this to put the 1060 in it.
That literally, I bought the 1060 and then I bought an SSD that you can see down there in the bottom left. I bought those two things and was like, okay, well, this will work. Did not work. No matter how much Frankensteining we tried to do. We tried to take two PCs and make one. Didn't work. Though that was fun. I learned a lot from just taking apart two other computers.
Yeah, and I mean, and really, like, building your own PC isn't hard. You do want to do the research. Like, if you go in with no knowledge, it is difficult. And even if you do all the research, it's very stressful. I know during the build, a few times I stopped and looked at Paradigm, and I'm like, yeah, this is really stressful for me. And he's like, well, I don't know what you mean. And I'm like, if I break one piece of this, that's your money I just lost, and then I would have to buy you a new piece. And I remember you telling me when you tried to snap in the RAM sticks, and you were like, oh shit, you weren't joking.
Yeah, dude, the RAM sticks, they're literally, when I was putting the RAM sticks in, it felt like cardboard. It literally just felt like a piece of plastic taped to cardboard, which, I mean, I guess you can argue is kind of what it is. But when trying to snap those in, I could feel it bending as I'm pushing down on it. And that part, I was sitting here if I snap one of these RAM sticks, it's done. We're going to have to start all over.
No,
We're going to have to go back to ordering, waiting for it to get delivered, coming back. which I was already going on, what, 4 hours of sleep, something like that, because I had gone in, worked that night, because we were scheduling it for one of my days off.
Mm-hmm.
We had to order the parts. They came in, and then I had to go to work that night. So I had like 4 or 5 hours of sleep because I decided to stream for like 10 hours.
Yep, that you did. Yeah, you had like no sleep, and then we had to have you run to Bluffton because you forgot the cleaning solution, or you actually forgot the.
No, I brought the cleaning solution. Nathan told me that I just needed to take those 2 bottles, and both of them were parts to the cleaning solution. He did not tell me that there was a separate tube for the thermal paste. So I had to go all the way back to literally get the tube this big.
Yeah.
This big.
And then this fan isn't actually your original fan either. I actually had from my old PC, I had a fan, and his fan I couldn't get it to fit from the pre-made one because I had some weird cutout holes, and I couldn't get it to fit. And I was like, I'm not gonna risk snapping the motherboard. So I was like, wait, I have this extra fan from my old processor. I pulled it out, and luckily enough, it fit. And I was like, that should cool it enough. He's not overclocking. We shouldn't have any problems. So we got that put in there.
Yeah, and I've seen Nathan's fan. By the way, Nathan's fan is like the size, like his fan for his CPU is the size of the power supply from the Lenovo PC.
Yeah,
not even joking.
I know what fan he has, and it's a good fan for sure. And then here's kind of an up pick. You can see the 2 giant fans here, the exhaust fan here. And if he wanted to, you could put fans up at the top. Like, this is a really good case. If you're looking to build a PC, this case is really nice. It gives a lot of airflow in. You can do water cooling to the top, and then have the exhaust fan in the back. You can set, if you can look here, I already exited out, but you can put your graphics card upright, so you can actually see it right there. And same with like the HDDs, or the God damn it.
SSDs.
Yeah, the SSDs. Haha, got it. You can set those up right too. And Paradigm had actually thought about setting it up right.
I don't remember why we didn't. I think maybe it just looked kind of weird because yeah, that's right, because to set them upright, we would have had to turn them sideways.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. To set them upright, we would have had to turn it sideways. And so then it was just going to be like to go in and like take anything out or anything, we were instantly going to have to take out the SSD too. So like you and I had talked about it, what's probably going to happen to upgrade this PC is it's going to get a different motherboard and a different CPU.
Oh yeah. I would have to pull the specs up again to see if you can upgrade the CPU, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I think I got you one that you could, but again, I don't remember. We were just trying to save money and get the build done. And also, for anyone watching who does build PCs, this is before the cable management part. It's a lot more hidden and looks a lot better than this.
We zip tied the shit out of that. we had what, like 3 packages of zip ties that came with stuff, and we used 2 of them, I think.
Yeah, you can kind of see the management here. We zip tied everything, and yeah, I made it look very nice. And after this, I snapped this picture. We took it over, plugged it in, turned it on, let it boot up. It booted up fine. His fans actually glow. Everything ran perfectly on our first try, which this is the second time. This is my second build, and this is the second time I've just done everything right, and it plugs in and works. I do have a build coming up for another friend, and I'm building that one from scratch, so that'll be coming out.
Bergston?
No, he's going to try to build his own, but I'm definitely going to do... No, Bergston's going to do his own build, where my buddy Cole, he's looking for kind of a mid-range gaming PC, and he's like, this is kind of what I'm looking for. This is my price range. I said, all right, give me a couple of days, and I ran through the list, got him in his price range. I said, here, this is the best bang for your buck. I said, I got him a motherboard, and I got him the i5 6-core processor, but the motherboard can also be upgraded to the i7 or the i9. He can upgrade the sticks of RAM, obviously upgrade the memory or the storage, and I was like, and you can buy, obviously a beefier graphics card if you want. So he's still kind of, he hasn't bought the parts yet. He's like working on it. I don't know, but yeah, man, I had a great time building that with you, and learning that pre-built gaming PCs are kind of trash. If you're if you try to move them, they're good for what they're good for. I mean, if you buy it and you just game and casually game, go for it. But if you're looking to stream, if you're looking to like hardcore play video games and multitask and stuff like that, build your own. You're gonna spend, I think, in my opinion, you're gonna spend less money, and you can build it yourself. I'm a high school dropout, and I can build computers. So I mean, in my opinion, anyone should be able to do it if I can do it. Would you?
Did you really drop out of high school? Like, sorry to get off topic here, but like, I thought you graduated.
No, I totally dropped out. No,
Oh, okay.
nope. There was some stuff going on, and I dipped.
We
And
can cut that part out of the video, but like
I'll
that,
keep
that
it.
threw me off. For a second.
No, but what did you think about the build? I mean, did you have fun? Did you get to learn a decent amount?
The only part that really threw me off, like I was following your thought process and how to put it together and everything, except for
Mhm.
when it came to plugging all the different little cords into the motherboard.
Oh.
And then you're sitting there like, oh, this is this and this that, and I'm like,
Yeah,
glad you know where it goes.
Yeah, doing it once before made it a lot easier. But I watched Bitwit on YouTube, and he made it seem real easy too. And I was like, what? But you just read the manual, and then you find, all right, these little ones mean this, and then you plug it into the motherboard, and it says where to plug everything into. I just knew your giant fucking hands were not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So I've got tiny little hands, so.
That was definitely the problem. So we will probably have to build my next PC, which depending may just be upgrading this one.
Yeah.
I'm actually hoping here in a couple years, well, not a couple, here in like a year and a half
Okay.
or so, talking Hovita into taking my PC so I can build a better one. But the only thing I think that really didn't work out, like, and it still might, I still haven't tried to figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
is changing the colors that the fans light up, because right now they just resonate green.
Okay.
Nathan's build is way different than mine, so he has a button that his power
Okay.
cycle button is his reset button for his colors.
You have in the back panel of your PC, if you open that up, there's a little clicker. And if you click that button, you can change the color, and you can also change like the way it lights up. Like it'll pulse, or it'll just stay a color, or it'll do like some weird stuff. And just
Okay.
mess with those buttons in the back. Yeah, all you do is once you untie it, it should be right there. You'll see it. So it's like a black rectangle clicker, and you just click it. The reason you can't change it via like your settings or anything is because your motherboard didn't support RGB lighting. But if we could have, if it did, like mine does, you just plug it right into the motherboard, and then you can control it through an option in your within your PC.
Okay. Yeah. But it does. I'm very happy with it, and the green I'm not mad about either way, because that's what I've got my keyboard set up. And actually, I have an RGB mouse pad that's rainbow right now. I'm actually going to talk to Nathan. Nathan's the one who bought it.
Yeah.
He knows the software I have to download, but it's going to go all green as well.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I took and then I also took from seeing your setup with your red keys.
Hmm.
For you had yours set up for WoW. I
Yeah.
set mine up for League of Legends, and mine is my keyboard's green, and then I have
Mhm.
neon blue
Okay.
for my League of Legends keys.
Nice. All right. But that's gonna wrap this video up. Thanks for stopping in and kind of running through that with me. I'm definitely glad that you enjoy your PC. I'm glad that you can stream now, um, biting your internet problems. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that you can stream. I'm glad that you can still push out content for your viewers. Um, and anyone interested in building a PC, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. I have no problem helping out. Um, I'll do video calls or texting or chatting through Discord or anything. Just let me know, and I'll see y'all later. Okay, boy.